Hello, my name is Nkem, and today I will be talking about building a cheerful society using new media. So I work at a university, and this has just been a recent transition. And beginning this, I realized that living in this world, in this age, as a young person, I mean, the internet is here to stay, and it will only just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, it's about sharing joy, cheerfulness. And I can remember thinking about studying and I'm telling my friend I want to talk about like building a cheerful society. And the person told me, how do you intend to build a cheerful society? You can't really dictate what other people would do. But I think the point is that you can dictate what you do in your environment. That's why I said society, because society starts with our families, our friends, and everybody around us. Now, why do I pick new media? I mean, I'm a young person, and I think that I spend most of my time, if not all of my time, on the internet, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. But what do I post? And how does that affect building a cheerful society? How is my post going to affect a cheerful society? Now, like I said, there's something I always think about. If you're reading a newspaper, there's an editor, and that detects what goes out and what doesn't, what is good, what is not good, what you can rephrase. But for new media, that's different, because like I said, the gates are down. That editor is the gates are down. Anything goes out there. And I think that we are in an age where there's almost so much negativity. People have that feeling that, oh, I have my phone, I have my internet, so why would you tell me what to do? That's why you posted it online. If you posted this picture, then you want to know how you look like. I can tell you look this, you have flabs, you have this, you have that. And to be honest, no matter how much we say that doesn't affect us, there's something about it that just it's touches your self-esteem. It does, it really does. And that's what I was talking about cheerfulness, because there's nothing cheerful about that. There's nothing joyful about being told that you have flaps or being told that you don't look good enough on the internet. Now, in fact, like I was saying, internet is here to stay. I'm having a virtual conference all the way from another continent, and people from all over the world are going to watch this video and connect or not connect with it. So this is the reason why we have to start to think very, very seriously about new media, about the internet, about every single thing. We can talk about sharing joy, but sharing joy goes beyond just our homes. But I think that it starts from there. Now, I can remember growing up, I went to a boarding school, so I was about between age 9 to about 15 or 16. I was in a boarding secondary school. And that meant that my parents came every single month to visit us, to share food, talk about home. And I can remember any classroom that my father and my mom and all our siblings sat in was always filled with laughter, and my dad was always making jokes. So I knew that he already thought, it's hard enough just to be at home at 10 years old. So the least that he can do is make us feel happy. But as long as I can remember, I grew up in a home where we can storm into my parents' room on a Saturday morning and have various conversations, even till now, as old as we are. We can have conversations, we can laugh about every single thing. We can let them know. So in trying to build a cheerful society, to be honest, it starts from our homes. How do you relate with your siblings? How do you relate to your parents? Even as parents, how do you talk to your kids? Because I can remember, even in secondary school, some parents will come and all they're thinking about is like, oh, how can you get 0 in maths? And believe me, I failed mathematics. And I think I'm in the right line of work now that has nothing to do with maths. But obviously, I need basic addition and subtraction. But my dad did not sit down in that classroom like looking through my notebook and saying, oh, why did you have 0? And in fact, I had to have extra lessons at some point because I was terrible at maths. Like I would get every single thing wrong. But he never made me feel that that's something to be completely sad about, even because he already knew I was disappointed in showing him those scores. So why make it worse? And again, it's not that you should not care about your children's grades rather. It's that even in that, he still made us try to feel better. So, okay, what do you need? What can I help you with? That's the environment I grew up in. I didn't have a phone until I was about 17. and entering into university. So, I mean, that's when I first really had, okay, Twitter, and there was no WhatsApp, BlackBerry, Messenger, and all that stuff. But I knew that what I tweeted, it had to be something that were tweeted at me. I can remember once when I was in university, there was this university page that was supposed to be all university news, but really it was just about really gossip. And I can remember once a gossip was posted about me, and in all honesty, I did not feel good at all. In fact, I hadn't seen that first because I wasn't always on Facebook and all. But a friend had seen it, and then they didn't want to show me, and then I found out. And I can remember that it was so demoralizing to think that somebody thought this about me. And I questioned myself and every single thing that I stood for the longest time, you know. And that's what it is. As a young person, I know that half of my life is on the internet, and not in a bad way. Obviously, there has to be a balance. What is that we have to now start to be careful. What is out there? How do we, even that post, that your picture, what kind of caption do you put? It's like, oh, haters are going to hate, all of you are going to be on my feet, you know, stuff like that. What is it that you put out there? How do you relate to other people, even strangers? But you can say, oh, it doesn't matter, they are just random people. But really, we have to start to be deliberate about showing people that, you know, the world is already tough as it is. In fact, COVID here did not make it easy on anybody. So the world is already tough as it is. Am I adding more to that? Now, like I said, I teach at a university, and I teach in film production department. And that means that I am really at the forefront of the future of what is on television, what is going on. Right now, I'm not even really on TV, to be honest. What goes out on YouTube, on other short films, on Twitter, and even that 1 minute film on Instagram, because now everything is possible. And I don't take that job not seriously at all. Like, I take it really seriously, because what I would say and what I would pass across is what these young people, and I'm young too, so younger people younger than me, would have to, you know, put out there. And I can remember once having a back and forth with his students about a scene that just seemed obscene. And I was telling him, why, I mean, they are going to have their bath. Why do you need to show them in this way or in that way? And it's a lot of, it's tricky. It really is tricky to have that conversation with people, with young people, because I mean, right now we're in the world where everybody is, you know, people are showing their skin, people are, I mean, it's like, oh, and I remember once having a conversation with a taxi driver. I was coming in, and someone said, oh, they don't allow you students here wear this. Why is that? And he says, oh, we have to go beyond this mindset of, oh, this is not acceptable, that is not acceptable. And I told him, immodesty is immodesty. Whether it's not acceptable or not, is that okay, because more people are wearing shorter clothes does not make it immodest. You know, say, oh, is it a Catholic school or is it a Christian school? Why do they have to? But the fact that they can express themselves in so many ways without necessarily having to show their body. So I remember having to have this conversation with the students, saying, oh, you know what, I mean, would this scene be any different if you remove this particular sequence? And he said, no, but you have to show reality. I was like, really, do you really have to show reality? And so that's what we are in. We are in that world where in trying to show reality, we sort of lose track of who we are. We say, oh, this is the truth, so they have to take it the way it is. But the fact is that the truth without love is useless, to be honest. Nobody's going to really listen to you. So that's why I was talking about building a cheerful society. So how do we start by building a cheerful society? What do we do to build a cheerful society? Action steps. What do I post on social media, and how do I post it on social media? Because this is building a society on the internet. And what do I post? How do I post it? What kind of things do I say? What kind of things do I tweet? You can think that little tweet doesn't matter. I can remember once there was this challenge going around on TikTok about people trying Nigerian food. And I remember watching this video and somebody tried something and then they would go, oh, this is disgusting. How would you eat this? And this is what people grew up with. This is what people have as their national dish. And then you go about saying it's disgusting. And to be honest, that made me as a Nigerian feel bad. That, oh, my food is disgusting. But I mean, that's come to my idea. Is that cheerful? What do you say? In your mind, do you think, okay, maybe it's not, even if you say, oh, you don't like it, it's that I don't like this thing, or this doesn't really go quite with my palate, or this is a new taste. There are ways to say things that doesn't have to be outright rude and just uncharitable. And that's one side. Now, on another side, what do you filter from your mind on social media? Because to be honest, whether we like it or not, what we see, what we hear, what we consume affects how we think. So how do you get to filter that from your mind? You know, and because to be honest, if I'm happy, if I'm walking on the streets, I would be more pleasant to the security man, to the cleaner, to my students, to fellow staff. So really, what goes into my mind also aids in building that cheerfulness in the society. And that also comes with WhatsApp. Do I wake up? Because I can wake up first in the morning, pick up my phone, check WhatsApp, and I see a message that completely annoys me, and that whole day is ruined. So how do I also protect myself and protect my mind and protect every single thing that I believe in? Because that also would aid in helping to build that cheerfulness around myself. So what do you do? How do you filter that? Do you make use of screen time and filters that would aid to not consume things that would affect you? No, stuff like that. So that's another way to also think about things like such as this. Like I said, it matters what you post. And then also now let's go to commenting on things. To be honest, do you really have to give your feedback on everything? And if you want to give your feedback, take a step back and think to yourself, this thing I'm about to say, how is it going to aid this person to be better? How is it going to aid them to get to heaven? How is it going to aid them to be the best version of themselves? And yes, social media, internet, every single thing is massive, it's huge, and we can almost feel like, this small thing I'm going to do, how is that going to change anything? How is that going to make anything better? You know, but I think that the more that we start to think about how it's a little droplets make an ocean, more that we start to think about how those little things that we do in our lives help to add to the general thing, the more that we are able to make concrete changes to change our world. You know, we can have conference and listen to fantastic talks every single time, but really, how does this affect our life? What are we taking away from things like this? And we should stop thinking about things like, oh, this is their problem. You know, I'm going to do me. I'm going to be me. You know, there's that me narrative now. I'm going to be me. That doesn't affect anybody. It does, really. And if I'm better, the next person is better, and spreading that. You know, the best example that we can get in life is example of our friends. You know, they see how we're doing things. And well, how are you still this open and this cheerful, even when everything is going, haywire around you? Because we know it's going haywire around us. You know, how you open, how you cheerful, and it's taking into consideration all of what things that we're listening to. You know, and that's really what it is. Let's really bury. I'm going to use the words bury that mindset of that. It's just, it's me. No, not just me. I have a priest friend that says that if you get to heaven and just you there, you have no friends there, how are you going to enjoy it? You know, obviously that's he's just this, but it's that we're doing Jesus-centered life conference. We have to think about it not as individuals, but as people that are parts of all the planets and the whole of every single thing. It's a Jesus-centered life, and we have to permeate the life of Jesus using our lives. We are another Christ in the world, and this goes with every single thing. I know Christ didn't live in the internet age, but every single thing that he taught and what he stood for would also can be put into practice even today. And tomorrow, if there are holograms, if we're going to all the planets and we are teleporting, we can have to do that in a way that Jesus Christ will do it. You know, so we cannot just leave that aside. And so that's what we think about today. You know, how let's make concrete decisions and concrete plan to be better, to be cheerful, to spread joy. We're in Christmas, on Advent, and leading up to Christmas time. So how do we really spread joy? What kind of message are we spreading? Are we making Christianity and Jesus be attractive to our friends and to everybody around us with what we post, with what we say, with what we do? And that's just it. What we should think about. So let's think about that critically, and hopefully this would be the start of a lot of changes in our lives, including me, because all the things I'm saying also I need to do them. So including me, I would be better at what I say, what I post, you know, and what kind of things that I follow and the kind of things that I consume and not consume on the internet. Thank you very much for listening, and do have a great rest of the conference. Bye.